Hello, beautiful people. Discipline is something that is going to help you accomplish your dreams faster than anything else. If you're not disciplined, I'm sorry, man, you're gonna stay a loser. You'll not be able to build the life of your dreams. You'll just be lazy. You'll do whenever motivation, you'll only do things when motivation strikes you. And if that is the kind of person you become, man, I'll be brutally honest, you'll not be able to build the life of your dreams. You'll not be able to get the career of your dreams. You will not be able to, get the woman of your dreams, get the house of your dreams, get the car of your dreams. Whatever it is, you'll stay a loser. Okay, if you're not disciplined, you will stay a loser. On the other hand, if you master discipline, right, you know how to control your emotions. You don't just randomly do things on a whim, right? You have a plan, you have a path, and you follow that plan. You stick to that path. If you master that, you can build the life of your dreams. Right now, how do you actually build discipline? Well, let me help you understand this thing. It all begins with your identity. Your identity is what determines how you are going to act. If your identity is that of a person that, okay, you know what, I identify as someone that requires motivation to get things done. I identify as someone that requires a lot of push from the other person, right? I'm not disciplined. If that is the identity you have formed, guess what? You will live up to that identity and you will not be disciplined. All right, so that being said, how do you even build your identity? Well, let me explain to you how identity formation works and how you can use it to completely transform and elevate your life. You understand this, my friend? It will give you the power to absolutely transform and elevate your life. Okay, so let's understand levels of life. Your identity is one of the levels of your mind and your life. Okay, so the first level is thoughts. Everything that you do, it all begins as a thought. Okay, and sure, you have your own thoughts. That being said, you can wire yourself to change your thoughts. Again, I'll be talking about that later. Right, so after thoughts come beliefs. Your beliefs are a collection of thoughts. For example, if you believe that, okay, you know what, I'm not good enough. That belief of feeling that you are not good enough, thinking that you are not good enough, comes when you underperform, and you think the reason you underperformed is because, you know what, you're not good enough, you're a victim, and you will never be able to do anything in life. Okay, if you constantly fail and you constantly say this to yourself, that, okay, you know what, I'm underperforming because of XYZ reason. If you say that to yourself, guess what? You'll now remain an underperformer. On the other hand, if you say to yourself that, okay, you know what, I'm right now underperforming because I'm just beginning. I haven't done enough for me to master this thing. By the way, there's this rule of 10,000 hours, right? In order to be the top 1% of anything, you need to put in 10,000 hours. And whatever it may be, whether it's business, whether it is, playing a sport like basketball, football, tennis, whether it's chess, strategizing, content creation, that is the rule of 10,000. Okay? There's also a rule of 1,000. In order to be the top 10% of anything, you need to put in 1,000 hours into that thing. Okay? So it could be any skill, video editing, whatever it may be. You put in 1,000 hours, you are in the top 10% of the entire spectrum of people that are into that thing. Okay, that's the rule of 1,000. And there's also a rule of 100. That means you can actually be in the top 10% in 100 hours as well, if you seek the right guidance. Okay, so now how we apply this in identity shifting? Well, so thoughts leads to beliefs, beliefs leads to mindset. Your mindset leads to actions. Okay, whatever the level of your action is, that will determine your mindset, right? That will be determined by your mindset, right? So mindset leads to actions, actions leads to habits, habits lead to your identity leads to your destiny. Okay, your identity leads to your destiny. For example, let's say you want to have the destiny. Let me talk about the destiny that I want. Okay, the dream life that I want. By the end of this year, I want to get to a point where I'm making 10 lakhs a month. Okay, or right, in profit, by the way. I'm not at that point right now. The maximum I've made so far this year is 2.5. Okay, I want to supersede that. I want to exceed that. I want to get to a point where I'm making 10 lakhs a month. And the methods that I was implementing, sure, they'll be able to help me go. They were able to help me go from 0 to 2 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs, 3 lakhs. Sure, if I work really hard, I can, using the current methods, I'll go to 2.5, 3 lakhs, 3.5 lakhs, 4 lakhs. I can do that. But those methods will not help me get to 10 lakh a month. The methods required for me to get to 10 lakh a month are completely different, and they require me to have an identity shift. Only then will I be able to create those outcomes, and I'll be able to achieve those outcomes. Okay, so that is my dream for this year. And by the time I'm 35, I want to get to a point where I'm making $20 million per year. Okay, that is my destiny. That is, and apart from that, so this is financially. Now, what do I want to do? I want to be called upon stages. I want to be called to different forums. I want to host my own forums too. And I want to be able to get to that point where I'm able to do all of that. And okay, so for example, that's another thing. So I want to be invited to forums, and I want to have the partner of my dreams, the life partner of my dreams. I want her to be beautiful. I want her to be energetic. I want her to be smart. I want her to be well spoken. Okay, so this is the destiny that I want, for example. Now, who do I need to be in order to become this person? Okay, apart from that, I also want to be someone that socially is considered to be very competent, very respected. People love being around me. Okay, so these are all of the things that, for example, this is the destiny that I want. Now, what is the identity I need to build? For that, let's say if I am someone that wants to be invited to business forums, then I need to have an identity of someone that is considered very respected and well known as an entrepreneur, as someone that knows a lot about money, wealth creation, success, all of that. Okay, now how can I be renowned as someone that knows about all of this? Well, again, social media, YouTube, Instagram, right? Conducting my own trainings, giving seminars, lectures in colleges, for example. Okay, so that is how it can be accomplished. Okay, so I need to build that identity. I need to be that person that is capable of showcasing his knowledge, that showcases his knowledge on a regular basis. So I need to create content. I need to create content on money, wealth creation, fundamentals of wealth creation. I need to impact a lot of people in the realm of wealth creation. Okay, in terms of self-improvement as well, personal development as well. And one other part of my destiny is also having an amazing body, right? I want the body of my dreams. My body is not bad right now. It is pretty good, but I want to add quite a bit of muscle. Sure, I have, my body fat percentage is in single digits, or it fluctuates. Sometimes it's 12, 13. Sometimes it gets to 9, 9.5. Okay, so it kind of fluctuates between that. But that is also something that I want. The identity I need to have in order to achieve that destiny is the identity of someone that is super disciplined in all realms of his life. Someone that is super disciplined in terms of his mindset. Someone that's super disciplined in terms of his finances, the way I spend money. Someone that is super disciplined in terms of his workout regimen, the way he spends his time, how much work does he do. The way I spend my time will determine the kind of outcomes I will create. Time is nothing but a transmutation device. Okay, let me explain something to you. You are a billionaire already. Okay, if you're very young like me, you already are a billionaire. You are a time billionaire. Okay, and here's the thing, you can become an actual billionaire too if you are willing to convert your time wealth into money wealth. Okay, for example, let me explain it to you better. Let's say now I'm driving from my go down, right? My go down was in, by the way, so it's flooded and all because of monsoon. So I hate monsoons, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So I was traveling from my go down to my house. Now that time could have been just randomly spent, and I'm anyway gonna drive from here to there. So that time is gone. Okay, and driving is something that I have to do because I need to go from here to there. Now that time could have been completely wasted. Okay, I would not be shooting this video. You would not have heard of me. You would not have listened to me, right? You would not even be aware of my existence. But because I chose to transmute that time into content, right? I decided to transmute that. Okay, you know what? I want to help people. I want to provide something. I don't want to waste this time that I have because time is money. Okay. What can I do of this time that impacts the world? Well, I decided to shoot this video. Okay, and I'll be sharing knowledge in it. So your time is a transmutation device. You can decide to transmute your time, convert your time into anything that you desire. Anything that you desire. Okay, and here's the thing: you should want things that make you getting other things easier. For example, let's say if you want the woman of your dreams, okay, and you're constantly obsessing over just getting her and you're not focusing on other things, well then, brutally honest, you're not even going to get her, because women don't want a man that obsesses over them, right? They want a man that is competent, that is capable, that is hardworking, that is, that looks masculine, has this amazing energy that, okay, you know what? He can take care of her. Okay, that is the energy a woman wants. So instead of obsessing over her, if you obsess on something that helps you become that, for example, if you obsess over working out, but then again, don't just be someone that just works out and is not able to make money. Don't be that guy. Okay, if you are someone that works out on a regular basis, you are also someone that has the capacity of working really hard. So the device, the thing that you are building is not just the body, is the capability to work extremely hard. Okay. So for example, you decide to pursue that. Now you have this ability to work super hard too. Most definitely you'll get the body of your dreams because you're putting in your time, energy, effort, all of that. But even apart from that, you'll gain the ability to work hard. And if you implement that ability to work hard towards chasing your dreams and towards making a lot of money, right? Now guess what? You also have a good body and you've developed an ability to work super hard. You've worked super hard too and you've made a lot of money. Now guess what? You have a good body, you work super hard, you make money, right? What can you do? You can now attract the woman of your dreams. Without it, you will not be able to attract that woman. Okay? Now also, just to clarify, it's not necessary for you to have a shit ton of money to be able to attract the woman of your dreams, but you do necessarily need to project your potential. What does this mean? Even if you're not paying a lot of money right now, but you have a woman that is a woman that you want, you really are attracted to her, and you can project that potential towards her. Okay, you are able to showcase that to her through your thought processes, through your diligence, all of that. She can see that okay, you're a hardworking person, you're smart, you're intelligent, right? You have a good body, and you have a path in front of you, and you have clarity towards your life. If you can project that, you can still get the woman of your dreams. Okay, you can still get the woman of your dreams, because women are attracted towards people that have a lot of potential, and if you can project that, okay, you know what, you are someone that is going to be able to take care of her in future, and even right now you are capable of taking care of her, you are going to be there for her when time is required, but not all the time. You should have a dream that you are chasing down. She should not be your top priority. Know that. Okay, your top priority is building your dream, and being with her is also a priority, but not your number one priority. Okay, because if that becomes your number one priority, something else, for example, making more money or becoming more successful, that comes a little lower, and she does not want that, to be brutally honest. Okay, the kind of woman that wants you to make her top priority and doesn't want you to do anything else is a woman that has a lot of money. She can take care of herself using that money, and all she wants is a boy toy. Okay, if you want to be a boy toy, sure, you can do that. You have to be really sexy, you have to be really attractive for that, and you have to just, obey everything that she says, and just, be a toy for her. If you want that, sure, you can do that. If you don't want to be a boy toy, you want to be a person that is a man of substance, a person that is successful, you want the world to know your name, you want to be recognized, you want to be respected socially, then man, you need to work hard. You need to transmute your time. You need to convert your time into something that is of substance. Okay? Right? So that is what you need to do. Right? Now that being said, okay, chalo, you know that you are a time billionaire. You have this time. Now, how do you build that habit of, working super hard? So let me explain something more to you. Right? You understood the levels of your life. It all begins with your thoughts. Now, where do thoughts come from? Thoughts sometimes come inherently, but a lot of the times they come from the external world. Okay? What does this mean? For example, right? Recently, if you're watching this in 2025, it's the end of June. Recently, a car crash happened. Okay, and not a car crash, sorry, an air crash happened in my city, Ahmedabad. And after that, I've been seeing a lot of bad things, right? I've been witnessing, videos on car crashes. Recently, some people died in a Volvo, and this has never happened before, by the way. In the previous decade, no one died in a Volvo car. So that was a big news as well. Now, I would have been oblivious to a news like that before the airplane crash. But because that airplane crash happened in my city, right? City of Ahmedabad, Air India. Now I am more observant of things like this. So it is channelizing my thoughts. Correct? So now you know that the external world has a big influence on your thoughts. Okay, somebody is going to slap me, and for example, based on that, I will have a lot of thoughts. Okay, somebody will do a lot of good things for me, and based on that, I will have a lot of thoughts. Now that you know the external world is where your thoughts come from. So if you want to change your thoughts, what do you need to change? Change your external world? Not exactly, but you can most definitely change your digital world. What do I mean when I say your digital world? I mean how you interact with your phone. Right, whatever is the type of content that you consume, because see, content consumption is at an all-time high, right? People are consuming content like anything. Now you can use that content to rewire your brain. For example, let's say you're used to scrolling on Instagram, okay, and you're used to consuming a lot of mindless, useless information. Now what do you need to do? You need to listen to someone that inspires you, that drives action, that makes you feel motivated, that makes you feel like you believe in yourself, and he or she helps you gain clarity, and whatever drives you, you consume that content. For example, something that drives me a lot is when I listen to Andrew Tate talk about time. Okay, when I listen to Andrew Tate talk about working out, talk about making money, right? That is the only thing I listen to Andrew Tate for. By the way, I don't listen to his women advice. He's not I don't resonate with that part for whatever reason. But in terms of hard work, in terms of masculinity, in terms of giving it your all, chasing your dreams, I believe in all of that. Okay, and the way he speaks, man, he is so proficient, man. God, mind-blowing. Andrew has a presence, and you just listen to some of his stuff while putting on some background motivational music, works amazing. Okay, so that's what I do too. I listen to it, and when I listen to him and I observe where he has come from, man, the man has come from nothing, absolutely nothing. Okay, his father left him $7, and he went. Okay, and now he's a freaking multi-millionaire. He drives supercars. He has whatever woman he desires, right? So has shit ton of money, is one of the most Googled, one of the most famous people on earth. All right? And if he can do that, so can I. So can you. So can anybody. Okay, he is a testament. He is a living proof that if you actually obsess over it, you can come from the absolute bottom. You can have absolutely nothing, zero, yet you can build the life of your dreams. That is the power you will have if you actually believe in yourself and you transmute your thoughts. And all you need to do is work and convert your time into something that is tangible, that is meaningful, that adds value to the world. It could be anything. And once you are doing that, you are transmuting your time on a regular basis into meaningful things, right? You do not waste an ounce of time. You'll be able to build the life of your dreams. Now, again, I want to share one more thing with you. Hard work alone is not enough. Hard work, is it important? Absolutely, dude. Hard work is one of the most important things in the world. Okay, if you want to be successful. It is a very crucial ingredient. But let me tell some brutally honest things to you. Even a laborer works extremely hard. Even a peasant works extremely hard. Is he a multi-millionaire? No. Why? Again, because the direction in which he's working, in that direction, he will not become a multi-millionaire. That vehicle that he is using, it is not going to be able to help him become a multi-millionaire. Okay? So you can be working extremely hard. You could be working extremely hard on something. But if that thing is not something that is capable of giving you immense amount of wealth, you will not be able to, be super rich. Okay, so understand what is your dream life and the path that you are currently on, the path that you are trying to pursue. Will that path actually help you in achieving your dream life? Or will it not? Observe other people that are on that same path, on that same journey. How many of them were able to achieve that? Right? So understand all of it, like absolutely all of it. You need to have 100%. So I'll share one more rule. It's called the rule of 300. It says you need to have 100% clarity, 100% belief, 100% of the time. Okay, if you have that, you are guaranteed to succeed 100%. Okay, whatever endeavor it is that you want, if you have absolute clarity. When I say clarity, I mean whatever it is that you want to do, you should be able to tell it to someone in one word. You should have a plan, not in one word, sorry, in one sentence, right? If they ask you to explain it in a one pager, you can talk about it in like a concise one pager. If you are required to explain it to them, explain it to someone, or explain it to yourself in 20 pages, then you should be able to do it in 20 pages, and you should have that elaborate plan. Okay, that is what clarity means. Clarity does not mean that, oh, you have a path. No. Okay, know exactly what it is that you want. Know exactly what you are going to do in order to get it, step by step. In this week, what you need to accomplish. In this month, what you need to accomplish. In this quarter, in this year, in the next 10 years, what do you need to accomplish to get to that point? Okay, and what is your current goal? Right? What is your 3-month goal? By the way, never have a goal that is more than 3 to 6 months, because then what happens? It becomes too long, and you are not able to pursue it for a very long period of time, and you lose motivation in the middle. Your motivation dwindles. So don't do that. Okay, people have New Year resolutions. Let me ask you, how many of them are actually able to accomplish their New Year resolutions? Not a lot of them. Okay, they fail a lot. Why? Because 1 year is too long. You start chasing your goal and you're like, oh, you know what, I have a year to accomplish it. Let's put it aside. Let's not do it now. And when that happens, your motivation dwindles. So set a goal that scares you a little but motivates you a lot. Okay, So, God, man, you know, whenever I'm making these videos, I see people constantly observing me. Even right now, there's this guy looking at me. What is this guy doing? But man, I enjoy the attention, right? And by the way, that is something that you should do too. Enjoy attention. Okay, don't be afraid of it. Be able to handle it, be able to embrace it, and be able to convert that attention into connection, and use that connection to drive action towards whatever action you want people to take, right? So attention, connection, action, 3-step framework for you to be able to get people to do what they want, get people to give you money. And by the way, money comes from people. Okay, people are going to give you money. If whatever you have, it does not serve anyone, nobody enjoys it, nobody finds it pleasurable, then you will not be able to make money, brutally honest. Okay, it needs to serve people in some way, shape or form. And the more people you can serve, right, the more people you can serve, and while serving them, you charge the right prices to them, you'll be able to make a hell of a lot of money, right? You'll make a lot of money if you're able to do that. If you're not able to do that, then man, you'll stay broke. Okay, so figure out, just one moment, figure out what is your path. And to rewire your mind, consume content that motivates you, that helps you take action. For example, I consume Andrew Tate's content, right? Rewire that, build your identity, and after that, have clarity, 100% clarity. You can achieve the life of your dreams. Okay, so let me just conclude this by saying, if you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. Okay, that's all from my end. Keep hustling, keep growing. My name is Mohan Jagwani. I'm a Gen Z life coach. I'm a business and life strategist, right? I've shared my goals. I'm one of India's top speakers. I'm an award-winning speaker. And that's all from my end. If you are someone that wants to grow in life, you want to build the life of your dreams, you want to become a better version of yourself, hit the subscribe button. That's all from my end. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Take care. Ciao.